Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terry Morrow.
And I'm Catherine Haleko.
As parents and parenting writers, we can't help but see everything through a parenting lens. But as our kids have become adults, we find ourselves more interested in getting caught up on movies and streaming than on going over the same parenting topics over and over.
So since we're pretty sure we can find parenting wisdom anywhere, we're going to talk about what we're watching, what we thought about it, and maybe what we can learn from it, if only what not to do. Watch and listen along, and let's all make like we're doing something important for our families.
Each Wednesday, we bring you a watch or rewatch of an older entertainment property, and for this week of August 12th, we're continuing with Lost. We watched Season 1, Episode 6, House of the Rising Sun, and now everybody who is of my generation is going, there is a house in New Orleans. This is not about a house in New Orleans at all.
No.
I sang that song so many times. What a ridiculous thing for young people to be singing. But that was a big one because I think it had just a few chords. So if you were just kind of casually learning the guitar, you could play it. Mm-hmm. And man, did we sing the heck out of that. Anyway, this is in fact about Sun and Jin and how they came to be the extremely dysfunctional looking couple they are now.
That's right.
And it turns out that they were once very cute and flirty and smiley, and Jin was the kind of guy who would give his girl a flower and say, one day, baby, this will be a diamond ring. Mm-hmm. He was very sweet, and then dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
He went to work for her father. Nothing ever good comes of that. I mean, there are many fathers who have perfectly nice businesses, but in a movie, if a guy says, I'm going to work for your father, baby, so that we can get married and everything will be great.
Yeah.
Not going to be great. So, of course, during the course of working for her father, who we never meet or really learn anything about, except you get the feeling that he's not running a dry cleaner.
Yeah.
Jin becomes more and more hardened and unhappy and covered with blood when he comes home from work. And Sun becomes more and more unhappy to the point where she is ready to flee.
That's right.
And in the course of getting ready to flee, she learns English. How about that? She knew what everybody was saying all along. So they're at the airport. Jin, as we've seen before, is checking in while Jack is arguing about getting his father's coffin on the plane. And she just can't do it.
Right.
Or I guess she still loves him. And he conveniently has a flower as he stands there in the line for reasons I don't know.
Well, and also like, the plan was that she was supposed to walk away from him at the airport.
Yes.
And there would be a car waiting. Well, yeah. I mean, the car is waiting like directly outside where they are. Like, he would see the whole thing go down if she tried to leave.
One would think.
So.
Yes. Although he was focusing pretty hard on the whatever, one does when one stands in line.
Right. But I feel like he would have noticed, like, her walking out the door and been like, hey, get back here. What are you doing?
Well, but I guess then if the car drives away, she was saying they would think she was kidnapped. So I guess it didn't matter if he saw her driving away.
Yeah.
He would assume that since she was the daughter of a powerful bad guy, somebody had absconded.
Right.
But for whatever she didn't, maybe she thinks, I'll do it next time we go on a trip.
Right.
Of course.
Oh, dear.
Now she's stuck with him on this island, and he is trying to murder Michael for reasons nobody understands because they can't talk to him, and they don't think they can talk to Sun, and oh, dear. So Jin winds up handcuffed to a piece of wreckage while they're trying to figure things out.
Right.
And in the end, it turns out that Michael had found a watch on the beach and put it on as one would. And it was, in fact, Sun's father's watch. And Jin was all honor bound to, slay people on the father's behalf, I guess.
Yeah.
You would think that being out on this island, you could maybe consider it a vacation from work.
Right.
That maybe you could just sort of not do that for a while, but...
Or somehow try to communicate, hey, that's mine. Can I have it back? Maybe just point to the watch and then yourself.
I understand that if you talk loud enough,
that's right.
Language, people can understand
this.
you.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so certainly Jin needs to develop some better communication skills, but we are given to hope that perhaps he will soften up a bit back to his original self. And because this is going to be a long show, and if he's just yelling at people and trying to kill them the whole time, come on, man, some character growth. We need character growth. Because when he finds out his wife speaks English, that's going to be an awkward conversation.
Yeah.
Because he won't be able to understand it, but also because exactly why and how did you secretly learn how to use speak English, dear? She needs to go to one of the gals there and say, "Act like you're teaching me English."
Yes.
You don't have to. I know it, but just act like it so he'll believe it.
We're just gonna pretend. Yeah, I mean,
I bet Claire would help her out.
Yeah, Claire seems to be very friendly.
Yes. Yeah, she does. I wouldn't go to Shannon, who was not in. I guess Shannon and Boone weren't in this episode at all, or were just sort of wandering by at one point or something.
Yeah.
But, and then the other big development is that Jack takes a group back to where he found the water.
Yeah.
And thinks, hey, you know what? Why don't we live in these caves where these dead bodies are? I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
There's bees, there might be honey, and there's water.
There's water.
And, there's rotting flesh, but it's old, It's been rotting for a long time.
It's been there for so long.
Just shove it over to the corner.
Yeah.
There won't be any problem.
No.
And
bodies love to just be disturbed. It's always a good sign in your
absolutely
in your entertainment property when there's dead bodies.
Right. What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know.
And some people are like, cool, water, shade, I'm there. And some people are like, we are going to sit in front of a fire on this beach until they find our dead bodies.
Right.
So a split between the cast.
Yeah, we're going to live together or die alone, right? Or we're going to live together in two separate groups, perhaps.
That's right. We are going to divide into factions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have actually no memory of them living in the caves.
So I guess it doesn't last very
being discussed,
long.
I thought, are they gonna not? But see, I don't know. I don't necessarily remember them living. I don't remember what happens, all the little details of this thing. I remember that Sun spoke English from the beginning.
Right.
But so from time to time, I thought she could have just shown a facial expression that said like she understood everything. She was looking very confused all the time.
Right.
Okay, she's got to keep her cover. But hey.
Mm-hmm. And we have Locke becoming Charlie's shaman.
Yes.
He's going to help him quit heroin just by telling him, here's your guitar.
Yeah. Did he see that guitar up there and orchestrate this whole thing, or did it just manifest?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you never know on this island, right?
You never know on this island. That is correct. And it's sort of adorable that Locke knew about Charlie's pathetic little band. So it's good for him.
Yeah, well, it's a good way to get Charlie to listen to him.
Right. And they have a boombox, apparently, that has batteries.
Well, Hurley has his little Discman too. He has a Discman. I'm like, how much longer is that going to last?
Right. They could at least have been playing House of the Rising Sun. Some of us would like to hear that again. Oh, but the flashbacks this week seemed somewhat more pedestrian than the past ones, I think. I mean, it's a very familiar scenario. The reveal that Sun speaks English is, I guess, the big...
Right.
Big what?
That's the big moment.
Not as... However, after you have, Locke being able to walk...
Yeah.
You gotta up the what's after that. And that's not quite there.
Yeah.
But we have to service all the main cast here, so they're not all going to be exciting.
Right. And for parenting, we had, Michael making an attempt to get to know his own child, and
yes,
Walt kind of reciprocating by the end there,
yes.
right?
When he says, "What did your mother tell you about me?" and he goes, "She don't tell me anything." Ouch.
But, I mean, maybe whatever she had to say wouldn't have... Maybe that was the kinder thing, to not say anything,
That's true.
right?
I guess so. But didn't even know when his birthday was.
Yep.
So that is a very weird parenting situation, though. I mean, it's kind of a little bit like the sudden parenthood and found family of A Gentleman in Moscow, except that you are in this very, very strange place. So not only do you have to start parenting your kid, you have to be protecting them from all this weirdness,
Right?
worrying about how they're going to survive. You know, how are you going to be able to defend them from whatever comes? It's just like you're plunged immediately into the worst part of parenting.
Yeah.
The hardest part of parenting.
Right.
From 0 to 120.
Yeah.
So, my sympathies, man. It would have been nice to have like a few months and, to get to know each other first.
Yeah.
Before you're on Mystery Island.
Right. Basically, you had, the part of the plane ride that wasn't scary and
a terrifying crash.
Yeah.
And now there's all these weird people and you don't know what to do. And that is not a happy way to start your life together with your grieving child. Was Vincent in this episode at all?
I think they showed him at the very beginning just running around on the beach.
All right. He's off somewhere sleeping, in some shade.
Yeah.
Do we think he would prefer the caves? A lot of water to splash in if he's better than the beach. I mean, I guess he could go splash around in the ocean, but as we have learned, that can be fatal.
Right.
So, and some like dead bodies to sniff at. So that's could be of interest.
Of interest.
More wreckage to go through and sort more clothes.
Yay! Maybe there's some suitcases in here we can check out.
And Jack tells Charlie to check for medication. And I'm like, oh, man,
yeah,
that's the wrong person.
That's the wrong guy.
For drugs. He will for certain look for drugs, but possibly not your antibiotics and painkillers.
Right.
Well, the painkillers, yes. Probably not your antibiotics. But Jack is definitely he's more in dad mode than mom mode this week.
Yeah.
Just like, I've made a plan and this is what we're going to do.
This is what we're doing.
Everybody come.
Yeah.
And then some of the kids are like, we don't want to go.
And he's like,
we want to stay here.
Fine. Stay on the
here.
See if I care.
You do your best to find a nice place for the family, and the annoying teenagers just want to hang with their friends at the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fine.
Yeah.
When you get thirsty, you'll want to come by us.
You're going to come crying to me.
Yeah. Yep. It's rough. And I guess we have, once again, evil dad in the flashbacks. So this is 2 evil dads so far?
Yeah.
This one wasn't even really seen.
We never saw him, but yeah.
Evil by reputation.
Right. This happened. This also happened.
This one's not a spoiler. I hope that's not a spoiler. There will be more evil dads, so.
Well, you did say last week.
It's a very long series,
right.
So,
You said to expect daddy issues.
This guy is arguably eviler than Jack's dad. Jack's dad was just evil in a limited scope.
Well, Jack's dad was evil to Jack.
Dad seems to be. Yes.
So.
Although he doesn't sound like he was such a great guy to anybody else either, but okay.
Yeah. But he was saving lives as a doctor, right?
He's not murdering people.
Yeah.
Oh, my. Daddy issues everywhere. Mm-hmm. Just can't turn over a rock or enter a cave without it.
Yeah, are we going to find out that Adam and Eve had daddy problems?
I don't specifically remember, but looking at a write-up of this episode where they cross-referenced all the different, because Everything in this show is gross. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to any numbers that are ever said anywhere at any time. But we do in the future at some point when ABC's go on another season. We do get their story. So hang on. If we make it that long, you'll find out. Hey, how about you go back to all the dead bodies we've seen and tell their flashbacks? It'll be great. You can get 11 episodes out of that, huh?
Right.
No.
Can we get more from the U.S. Marshal who...
Let's have the story of that guitar case, how it fell out of the plane. Smoke monster lifted it up, blew it up into a tree. It's so exciting.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's still in tune.
Yes.
Oh, well. Yeah. But moving along. Next Wednesday, we will continue with Season 1, Episode 7 of Lost, which is called The Moth. Do we know what the Moth, who the flashbacks are?
I think Charlie.
Yeah, seems like we need some Charlie flashbacks. Mm-hmm. They keep talking about his past.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my guess.
And so we will look forward to seeing more on that fella. And we'll see you back here tomorrow for our weekly Roundabout Roundup. We both love our dads, so no daddy issues on that. Thank you for listening. You can find all our episodes on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com.
You can also talk to us on our Facebook page, on Instagram, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat. And please visit our Amazon shop at amazon.com/shop/mamatude, where you can find links to a lot of the things we've talked about over the years.